Made it to another Friday. It's been another long one, and I think I'm finding the news just a little too much at the minute. So I think, like most people, I've probably been talking less because, how many negative stories can we talk about? I do pray for a day where we have stuff to celebrate and applaud and cheer. That would be really good. In the meantime, a few things that popped into my brain today listening to a little bit of news. One is the state of our water supply system. The fact that the cost of your water bills are going up exponentially, whereas in the old days, there was no water rates to pay. It was free. I think you had a small amount to pay for that, covered everything like local services, waters, blah, blah, blah. But there was no real water bill as such. And now, like everything, we're just seeing that we're paying more and more and more, but getting less and less and less. And we've got all of these hosepipe bans kicking in up and down the country. Yet the water companies allow billions of gallons of water to be lost every day through inadequate piping systems where they don't spend the money fixing the pipes. They'd rather put that into their pockets. And then today it's been announced that like the Thames water have seen an increase in pollution by around 60%, I think. So again, we are seemingly paying for more and more ineptitude, and yet the people that run these failing companies seem to get richer and richer. The second thing was a little chat I just saw about school holidays. And I've experienced many differing amounts of school holidays in the summer. One school we went to had 11 weeks, which was insane. And you could actively see the way the kids would go backwards in their reading and writing ability and the information that they'd retained from the last year. And it would take them often until the October half term to get back to the level that they were at before they broke up for the summer. And also the kids would be so bored and they couldn't wait to go back to school. So that was a ridiculously long time. We now are at schools where you get 6 weeks summer holiday, and I do think that's perfect. It just gives you enough time to relax, for the kids to just decompress before having to ramp up again for another school year. Because the schools the ones we go to anyway, are full on. They do require a lot from the kids, and they're taught so much in that 1 year. They do need a little time to digest and grow and recuperate before starting a new year. But I do understand it is really hard on parents, especially with younger kids. Like now my kids are older, it's easy. But when they're really young and they need constant attention, it is exhausting. But if you have kids, then you need to plan and prepare for that. But over 6 weeks, I do think is a challenge for everybody. It's very costly for parents. You need the childcare. Unfortunately, we now also live in a society where, compared to the old days, and you'd have mum at home doing all the childcare. Now most couples both work, and you only get 25 days holiday, whatever it is. So trying to spread that across all the school holidays of the year, unless you have willing and locally based grandparents to help out all the time, it is so expensive. And it is a real juggle. But again, if you choose to have kids, this is something you need to talk about, discuss and plan. And thirdly, I got lambasted by a couple of people yesterday because I happened to applaud the fact Eastern Europe seems to be doing so well. Their economies are going through the roof. They seem to be experiencing a lot less crime, no terrorism. And I said, I think, right now I would take the leadership of people, Poland, Hungary, Prague, etc., all these places over our leadership in a heartbeat right now. And I put it down to the fact that They have really strong borders, seemingly. There's no woke. You know, when I went to Prague as well, it was so effectively run. There was no crazy net zero talk all the time. They're very much committed to their culture. Yes, they are predominantly Christian heritage, and they're very proud of that. And they're very homogenous societies. And we obviously in the UK are experiencing, you know, some complications with that right now. So yeah, I said Eastern Europe was looking great. And it's just weird that I don't understand why British people can't say that they want to protect and promote their heritage, their Christian heritage, culture, and be proud of it and support it and nurture it, you know, and how they want that to endure. And, you know, like other countries around the world that the left always seem to support when they say, you know, they want to support and retain their heritage, whether it's countries in Africa or the Middle East or in China or Japan or wherever. They seem to very much applaud that mentality. But when it comes to a British person saying they want to retain our heritage and culture and societal norms and everything, we get lambasted. And yeah, we should welcome anyone who wants to come to this country. As I've always said, we should embrace people. And I know people that have come from overseas and have completely got stuck into British way of life, and they're wonderful, fabulous, hardworking people. That's how it should be. But you know, most successful countries, the people all kind of come together under one main norm, rule, and I don't understand why, if you say that as a Brit, you get a lot of hate, whereas other nations don't. So yeah, that was my 3 kind of thinkings before the weekend. But it is exhausting. Every time you turn on the radio, it's the same conversations going round and round that we have had for years. And us Brits are getting tired of having the same conversations, and we just want to see things get fixed so we can all be happy together and celebrate a country that is working well again. We all just want that. And yeah, may that occur before too long. Anyway, in the meantime, have a very nice weekend, and hope you have fun in whatever you're doing. Lots of love.